Hello. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about one of the things that I ended up having to do to kind of level out my hot tub. As you can see right now, obviously the hot tub is not in here. I took it down for the winter time. One of the things I ended up having to do when I built the screen room, you may notice here, yes, this is an old hot tub pad that was designed for a full-fledged hot tub. But the problem was that by the time I got to it, it had developed a 2-inch slope when you put even an inflatable pool or anything on top of it. So the water is 2 inches higher on the left side than it is on the right side because there's about a 2-inch slope there. Which, as you know, if you've got a hot tub or a pool in that couple 100-gallon or larger range, that's not really the best thing. That's an awful lot of water pressure. So in order to do this, credit goes to my father and his ingenious architectural ways. He ended up designing and helping me build here a kind of leveling platform to offset the slope on it, and it's worked real well. I've had this is now 4 years going on doing this, and so this is what I've done in order to create a level platform. Are all these old 2x6, 2x8, 2x10 mix of boards. Basically, we sourced this from a construction site. It was scrap material they were throwing out, and so you go with what's cost effective. So this was free wood, so we went ahead and did this. And then what I do is I just take that tarp there, obviously cleaned it off before using it, and lay it down, and then the padded bottom of the tub works great on that. It's nice, smooth, even, comfortable surface, stays nice and level, and so it just works really good. And then, of course, we built this screen room here on top of it. I am going to have to replace the doors here. Some damage went through them through the winter when we got some high winds. But the rest of the screen room is in really good shape. Now here you can see one of the things that I did was I put a... bring it up a bit closer there so you can see it. I put some hooks here and the shelf on the inside. This way I can keep the chemicals like the bromine that I have up here, and then normally I'll keep the box of filters up here, so I've got them right here in the area for easy use. I did these corrugated aluminum panels, which were a bit on the expensive side, but they're fabulous. They do an excellent job. I've been out here in the hot tub in the rain and I haven't gotten a single drop. And so just kind of giving people an idea of how I have this screen room set up and the leveling platform. We put an old office chair out here. I picked that up at a thrift store, and it does pretty well for giving you a place to sit down, change, or do whatever it is that you want to do. So anyways, that's just kind of the basic layout of this screen room that I have. We have a bit of a sloped roof here so that you can get runoff there. And it's kind of sheltered in here in my backyard in between the fencing, so that way when we get some high winds that come through, it doesn't affect it nearly as much. So anyways, this is just kind of how I built this screen room with my father, and we both put it together, and it's going on 4 years now, and it's been nice and solid. Platform stayed nice and level, and just all around been a really good investment. So for those of you who are kind of getting an idea of some options that you can do for a hot tub room, you can use this kind of as a template if you want to have a compromise where you want to feel the open air, you want to feel the breeze, but you still want to have some covering. And that's where this kind of screen room here, and basically we just built the roof and the corners, and then I just wrapped it with screen. So it's not the prettiest looking thing, but it's super functional and it's great. I've actually, as mentioned, sat out and when it's been raining and haven't gotten wet at all, but I can still feel the breeze and the cooler air and everything else. So it's a nice contrast with when you're sitting in the hot tub. So anyways, for those of you folks who are just looking for some ideas, this is a route that you can go. The other thing that's great about this is that when the hot summer sun normally comes down and just bakes down on your tub, which, as you know, with inflatable materials, that puts a lot of wear and tear on them over time. This keeps the sun off of it, and as such, you know, the tub now is on its fourth year, which is higher than average for many people with inflatable tubs. I've never had a puncture with it. I've never had any other major issues with it. And so this screen room has definitely done its job as far as protecting it and still allowing us to enjoy the outside air. So anyways, that's kind of all I've got there. Thanks for watching.